Hello and welcome. If you're getting ready to use the Coral Field Data Platform, you are in the right place. This is a quick guide to get you up and running with the software so you can make sure your data is entered correctly and safely right from day one.
So our goal here is to walk you through the most important functions of the app so you can feel confident using it. We'll kick things off with how to launch the application, which brings you to this main screen. And then we'll explore its key features. All right, let's dive into Section 1, Getting Started. We're going to cover the essential first steps you need to take when you run the application for the very first time. Getting this part right is key. To start, just open up the Power Apps menu on your device. You'll see a list of applications. Go ahead and find Coral Data Entry and tap on it to get started.
Okay, so the very first time you launch the app, there are 3 critical things you need to do. First, log in using your official Shams email account. Second, the app will ask for permission to access your location. You need to allow this, otherwise the map functions won't work. And third, please make sure you have an internet connection for this initial setup.
Next up, Section 2, the home screen. So once you're logged in, this is what you'll see. Think of it as your control center for the whole application.
Pretty much everything you need to do starts right here, from the home screen. So let's take a closer look and break down the key buttons and navigation tools you'll be using all the time.
Up at the top, you've got the 6 workflow tabs. These let you jump between the different stages of data entry. You can also use the next and previous arrow buttons to just move one step at a time. Down in the bottom right, that little globe icon, that opens the sync panel, and we'll talk more about that in a minute. The YouTube button is for help videos, but just remember, you have to be online for those to work. And finally, the button in the top left corner is how you exit the application.
All right, Section 3, Keeping Current. This is super important. One of the best habits you can develop is making sure your app is always up to date. We do this through a process called syncing.
Before you even think about entering data, especially if you haven't used the app for a few days, always ask yourself this question. Working on an old version can cause all sorts of problems, so a quick check is a must.
And the first step couldn't be easier. Back on the home screen, just click that globe icon you see in the bottom right corner. That's your ticket to the sync panel. This will pop open the device status panel. From here, just press the Check for Updates button. The app will then connect to the server and pull down all the latest info. Just be a little patient, okay? Sometimes this can take a minute or two.
Okay, Section 4, the core task. Now that we're all set up and updated, let's get into the main event, how to actually enter data correctly using the forms. Here we have a typical data entry form. As you can see, it's organized into different parts. You have fields where you type in your information, sections that group related fields together, and of course, those very important action buttons at the bottom, like Save and Validate.
Now, please pay close attention to this because it's the most important rule of all. The application does not save your work automatically. Let me repeat that. It does not autosave. You have to press the Save button yourself. If you close a form without saving, you will lose all the work you just did.
So the correct way to do this is a simple 2-step process. First, after you've entered your data, you must press Save. Then, after it's saved, you press Validate. The Validate button just runs a few checks to make sure your data looks correct and complete. So remember, always save first, then validate. You might notice sometimes that the bottom part of a form is gray, and you can't click on it. Don't worry, the app isn't broken. This is intentional. It just means you have to fill out the top section first and press Save. As soon as you save, the bottom section will unlock and you can keep going.
And that brings us to our final section, how to avoid problems. We're going to cover a couple of the most common issues people run into. Knowing about these ahead of time will really help you keep your data safe and accurate. This one is huge. The single biggest problem we see is people accidentally working in the wrong field trip. Because all the data is connected, entering it into the wrong trip can create major headaches that are really hard to fix. So always double check that you've selected the correct field trip, site visit, and survey before you start entering anything. And here is a very serious warning. The system allows you to change or delete data. Please be extremely careful. Any deletion you make is permanent. There is no undo button. There's no way for us to get it back. When it's gone, it is gone for good. So to wrap everything up, here are 4 simple habits for success. 1, always check your field trip. 2, always save your data manually. 3, always validate before you leave a form. And 4, always sync your data when you get back online. If you can make these 4 things a habit, you'll be in great shape.
At the end of the day, the quality of the science we do depends entirely on the quality of our data. So always ask yourself, is my data safe and accurate? By following the simple but really critical steps we've covered today, you can confidently answer yes. Thanks for your time.